there are secret clubs and closed societies that encourage blacks and other groups to join different militant movements, especially depending on how common it is to have a fetish for that group. You know, males, children, racial groups, to rebel so that they can channel energy using methods of psychology to enhance their sex life as they abuse these people in various institutions, prisons, etc. I know this for a fact. Now ask yourself, how much of a sexualized culture do we have? How much of a rape culture exists? How much goes on behind the scenes? Who's connected to who and why? I've thoroughly gone over this in my videos, how gangs and secret societies and cults, they use the same symbols, they have the same connections, and a lot of their members probably aren't even aware that this is how it works. And that's part of how they maintain a certain secrecy. So when you think about Huey Newton talking about revolutionary suicide, okay, is it just you go to prison and eventually get stabbed to death, or are you tortured and raped? They say Tupac's mother, when she was incarcerated, was raped. And there are countless examples of this happening. The rectal feeding in Guantanamo Bay. Okay, people with different sex fetishes absolutely torture people. When you look at the war on terror, you know, a war on radicalism, right? Went from having a kind of surfers saying, rad, gnarly, right? Rad, you know, they're a fan, right? They do extreme sports. So you have rad for radical. They're fans, right? Fanatics. You know, think about people who are fanatically following celebrities. Some of them even stalk them. There's a large degree of this fanaticism and radicalism in American culture. Okay, and of course, you know, are you a fan of? And there's extreme sports and extreme activities. A lot of cops join the force, and a lot of people in the military, I'm not saying they're all bad, they join it because they're adrenaline junkies. The same reason they join extreme sports. So which one's worse? Being a moral extremist, someone who's extremely morally convicted and loyal to God, or somebody who's an adrenaline junkie and an extremist? Which one's more righteous? Which one's less? So again, I don't want you to forget. Think about the pictures and what they mean. Torture, the history of torture, the continuity of the torture techniques that date back to the Inquisition and before. Okay, the Hittites being tortured by the Egyptians, and various groups all throughout history being tortured, and the religious implications, the symbolism of the torture, using pyramid-like objects, Serapis, and how he connects to Christianity and the Egyptian war over ideologies, right? Before Christianity, there was a pre-existing war over the ideal shape of the human body, the ideal form of intelligence, the ideal spirit animals, and so on. So they are torturing people for sexual fetishes, bondage, BDSM, or whatever it is, sexual sadism, Marquis de Sade on the higher levels, the people who are in control, the social controllers. They set people up so that they can rape and abuse them. They drug and discredit them. That's what these movements are about. None of them have a chance of truly succeeding. At best, they apply the Hegelian principle, but for whose benefit? To bring in the New World Order. This is about channeling Luciferian energy for sex fetishes, sex cults, occult, Crowley. Look up Crowley. He was into sexual magic, OTO, right? The celebrities, Hollywood, and so on. Okay? Acting, actors, directors, gay script writers, gays in Hollywood. You know, pedophilia, these things are all connected. Pederasty, Greek traditions, sex cults, Roman sex cults, Babylonian sex cults, Canaanite, Phoenician, the phoenix injected into Egypt and replacing the Bennu bird. Luciferian energy channeled when you capture a political dissident and abuse them. You abuse their family. You leverage their incarcerated family against the attractive, you know, to get the attractive women in their family to do what you want. You threaten to deport them. These are all Luciferian sex cult fetishes, and those in the cults get away with them and operate with impunity. Luciferian energy is the energy that causes young people, especially beautiful women, to change course. Their energy and their affection is directed toward the attractive, naturally attractive, handsome young man. That energy that causes them to do a 180, that frictional energy that's pushing against the energy, that causes them to redirect their energy, the energy of channeling that energy. It comes in school, right? Courses, right? Classes, okay? They're being schooled, they're being conditioned to think of someone else as more attractive. Think about the muscle-bound man. Automatically we associate with him with sports at best. At best. And even then there's a certain cap, a salary cap, a ceiling that they usually don't pass. The rich people are usually people who we consider innovative and intellectual. And then there is the predetermined old money class. These are the most desirable men in society. So the energy that is used to turn their attention elsewhere. And this is also used on political dissidents when they are captured. The energy one gets as you break them and you get them to rethink what they're doing. Okay? Trauma-based mind control, sexual trauma, trauma to the brain, getting beat up in prison, and so on. This is the type of Luciferian energy that is being used when they channel energy. And there's different places that they do it. They do it in Hollywood. They do it in the mental health sector. They do it in the prison industrial complex. They do it in the deep state, covert operations, black ops, Sidney Gottlieb, the dark sorcerer, the dirty trickster. Okay? These are the Luciferian types of energy that you need to watch out for the most. Look at the pictures again. Watch this video again. Look at how Lucifer is standing over his victims. There are storm clouds in the air. And there's a dim light, a Luciferian light, and they're miserable. They're empty and miserable, right? They're separated from that natural passion, that natural attraction to God's light. And they are broken. And he is taking pleasure. Now, how can he really take pleasure? It goes back to sex, satanic sex, Luciferian sex, the occult, reproductive cycle, sex cult. Think about it carefully. The energy that is used to redirect your energy and how much it has cost society.